Beautiful Phillip Island in Victoria is known throughout the world as the Nature Island. It's a place of natural beauty, sandy beaches, tranquil wetlands and unique wildlife experiences. People from all over the world flock there to witness the wildlife and the wild racing. With a wide range of outdoor activities, it's the perfect family holiday location. Of course, with Phillip Island's south coastal position, you're not always guaranteed the perfect weather. Nonetheless, the show must go on, and Phillip Island is the location for the 6th round of the Shannon's Nationals.
Well, you know this place, you love this place, 4.46 Ks, high speed, high thrills racetrack. Lap record in the low 1 minute 20s and an average lap speed in an F3 car at least of over 190 kilometres an hour. Turn 1, one of the fastest corners in Australia. Pretty awesome to go and watch racing cars go through there. Turn 4 is a great opportunity for overtaking. Siberia is another passing opportunity, the southernmost corner on a mainland racetrack in Australia. MG is another passing zone as they come over the daunting Lukey Heights. That's Phillip Island.
There's no doubt about it, the Commodore Cup is seriously rocking right now. With the smallest possible margin separating first and second in the championship, the battle for series supremacy comes right down to the wire in somewhat atrocious conditions on the island. Michael Tancredi and Adam Lloyd know that a win today is a major shot in the arm to their aspirations. But with former champ Marcus Sekanovic leading a determined field of Holden heroes, anything can and probably will happen.
While it's cold and windy, things are certainly heating up in the race for the Commodore Cup title. And as always, it's a mix of young and old at the top. Let's catch up with one man still.
Tancredi and Lloyd, it is really coming down. Ross McGregor and Marcus Sekanovic also. Alan Hill, oh no! This is not good.
Someone forgot to put the bonnet pins on Nick Parker's car and they'll be getting a fair turn kick up the backside.
Yeah, a bit of a spray, I would say, literally here at the island. Atrocious conditions. Parker, fortunately, will be able to put the bonnet down as we have a look at your grid. And the Z-Man is on pole. Marcus Sekanovic, Christian de Gostin joins me in commentary. He would normally be out there in Commodore Cup competition. Has certainly raced for many years in the category. Away we go in slippery conditions. Sekanovic away smartly. Here comes Fontaine having a good run as well. Christian, could the conditions be any worse?
No, actually, I'd rather much be up here with you today, mate, than out there on the track because that looks atrocious. Look at the visibility there. It's absolutely none.
Oh, dramas for Tancredi. The series leader has not left the line. A devastating blow. Lloyd won't be able to believe his luck right now.
No, that'll do his championship a world of good as they all tippy-toe around turn 1.
Marcus is gone. Sekanovic, a rare mistake from him. He's kept the speed up. He should rejoin the field, but probably at the back. Oh, he's still out there. That would feel like an eternity, wouldn't it?
There is absolutely no traction out there on that wet grass on those Dunlop tyres. There just be nothing at all for him.
The top shelf entry is just away now. So Tancredi has given himself a huge uppercut in missing the start. Don't know why the car didn't get off the line. We'll try to find out throughout the course of this race. Rest of the field making their way through. There is Parsons in the 71. Now, this is a difficult game racing in the wet, Christian. What do you have to do differently in this condition situation than you would in the dry?
Well, it's because the track's such a high-speed circuit, it's impossible to get any grip whatsoever, obviously because of the conditions, it's so cold. But also, too, trying to get some tyre temperature early up, as you can see, as the boys just put any sort of power down, the car just wants to step sideways and turn itself around. And especially coming up over here to Lukey Heights and down into MG, it'll be just absolutely diabolical to try and keep the car on the black stuff.
Domashans is the leader in this battle right here, but this guy is a giant killer. The Adams Auto Electrics entry of Adam Lloyd in the older style body car and is a mighty proposition here in the wet. He goes by Domashans, the first of the accent cars in behind. Lloydie, he almost threw it away right then.
Yeah, Lloydie, he's got himself a good bit of equipment there. That is the old ex-Jeff Emery car, which has had more hits than Elvis, so it should be nice and soft in the chassis and be able to get its power down. Nice move around the outside here. Just keeps the power on, and sometimes around that Phillip Island, the outside line in the wet is quite a fast circuit.
Well, look at this at the moment. Lloyd is your leader and getting away here at the moment. Jeff Fontaine having a pretty stout run in third position. And you know that Marcus Zekanovic in the all-black number 71 has a lot of work to do to come back. Menzel Glass, great supporters of the Commodore Cup action, round 4 at Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit. Now look at Marcus trying a very different line.
Yeah, my eyes are on Nick Parker at the back there. He would have started from the rear of the grid because his bonnet come up, and he's just making inroads in on everyone there. The lights are on, and he's ex-Billy Carter, and what we know about karting is that gives you terrific skills in the wet and terrific car control.
Well, look at Lloyd right on the ragged edge here at the moment. A fair bit of camber on the 77 car as well. Big g'day to the folks at Glassworks for getting behind the championship, as well as we see Fontaine working on Domashens and Bates.
Bates and Zekanovic run wide there at Honda, trying to coach each other into falling off there, and Bates want to be very ginger on that throttle to get it back onto the track.
Well, Marcus unfortunately just followed him in. Oh no, they're both jammed. Oh, Bates drives away and Marcus is absolutely buried. Now Marcus would be having a few choice things to say. Oh, look at the rain. It is torrential. Here is where Bates just spears off, unfortunately, and Marcus had nowhere to go. He couldn't really turn in behind him. That happens a lot where you follow someone in.
Yeah, you sort of try and follow the guy in, and obviously both guys didn't want to lock a tyre up there and didn't want to get caught in the mud, but unfortunately for Marcus, that's where he sat until they get towed out.
Look at these conditions here at Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit. Atrocious, to say the least. Lloyd is your leader from Domashens, Fontaine, Parker, Parsons, McGregor, Brock and Hughes, but someone making big inroads after having a terrible start is Tancredi.
Yeah, Tancredi's had a started from absolutely last, and he's working his way through the field. Keep your eye on the black and orange car there. He's making a great job of this race.
Now, word coming through, it was a clutch issue. That's why the car didn't get off the line. As you see, Parker, who had the bonnet come up on the warm-up lap. Oh man, that doesn't look like any fun at all.
Mate, I am glad I'm up here with you because that is absolutely atrocious. It's cold, freezing, and the wind looks like it's blowing horizontal rain across the track.
Parsons there in that 71 car. The guy is still making a heck of a race of it. Now we're seeing Zekanovic there in front, though he's actually not in front in the race itself, as Fontaine comes up the inside. Domashens having a go as well, and Lloyd drift style.
Yeah, no, Marcus just knows where to be if he wants to get some TV, but he would have been trying not to go a lap down there because he would have got towed out by the one of the helping cars there, but he's doing a great job. But here comes Parker back through the field. I think he's just taken over for the lead there.
Yeah, what a great drive. The Kilper Motors entry is just charging. Here he comes with backing from the good guys as well in that number 39 car. Again, big thanks to Glassworks for getting involved in the championship as they head out of Siberia and now up towards Lukey Heights. Here is Parker. Good move on Lloyd.
Yeah, and he's doing a beautiful job there, just tippy-toeing that car around, making sure he doesn't, get the power down too hard and step the car sideways, and just doing plenty of steering correction there.
Now Zekanovic needs to be careful here because the race leader is right behind him, and he needs to make sure he doesn't impede him in any way. Slippery stuff indeed, I think, from Philip Brock and the Peter Brock Foundation entry.
Yeah, that was a bit of actual tramp there. He didn't want to go backwards there, but he did a great job hanging on to that.
Jeff Fontaine up to third place, as you were pointing out, so he's running very strongly at the moment. We see Parker coming up to put Marcus Zekanovic a lap down. Marcus very cleverly moves out of the way in torrential rain here at Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit. And Parker will be wrapped with this performance, considering how the race started for him.
Yeah, he's unbelievable charge from the back, and the boys would have been going overboard on the rain exit. I just noticed Marcus's windscreen is totally fogged up, and so is the side windows there of Nick's car.
So that makes it even more spooky for you. Not only are the conditions bad, but when you can't actually see too much of what's outside, that's going to make it even worse. The accent car, as always, immaculate of Jeff Fontaine. Look at these battles. This is not where you want to be. That's Collins there in the 84 car. Tancredi is now up to 11th position.
That's an excellent job from the back. He's just doing a fantastic job for what he's had to endure at the start of the race.
The cars are hanging on pretty nicely when you consider just how much water, surface water and rain continues to fall on this circuit. Parker is your leader from Lloyd, Fontaine, Philip Brock, Ross McGregor, man who's helping out, bringing a lot of sponsorship support into this category. Josh Hughes, Nathan Collins and Chris Stevenson as we look at your race leader, the Kilper Motors entry of Nick Parker.
Well, we actually can't see him because his windows are that fogged up, but yeah, he's doing a fantastic job. And hats off to Ross McGregor this year. He's got his new driving standards mentor in Jeff Emery. He's helping him all year, and it's obviously doing him a world of good. He's up there in 5th spot.
Well, the car wriggled just a little bit then for Parker, but he's got a mammoth lead here at the moment as he heads up towards Lukey Heights. How do you keep the windscreen, clear at any point as we see Tancredi now up to 9th position? Is there anything you can do to stop it fogging up?
Oh, just oodles and oodles of rain exit before the start of the race, and hope you don't sit on the grid for too long and generate too much internal heat in the cabin.
There is the battle for second now. Lloyd is just ahead of Fontaine and Philip Brock there in the Peter Brock Foundation Lamatina entry. Just coming over the top there might be McGregor as well as they drop down into MG. Tancredi is up to 8th. He's starting to make his run.
Yeah, we'll have to starting with a broken clutch every race and see how he goes. But Nick Parker's just look at that car control coming on the straight. The car's getting a little bit of wheel spin coming into 4th gear there, and he's just doing a fantastic job hanging on to this car.
There is a replay of, the Super 1 karting entry of Collins. He's got a lot of speed as he's heading towards the tyre barrier. Got it buried there, unfortunately. Tancredi now passing Lloyd for 2nd place. What a huge drive from him in that recent stanza. So this is crucial for the championship with only 1 point separating them.
No, this is fantastic. The wet weather is a beautiful medium for any racing category. It really brings out the driver in the category. And look, and Michael and Nick are doing a sensational job today, just proving they are really good drivers. Sometimes not having the best equipment, but the rain's a great leveller. Yeah,
the Glassworks replay clearly showing that as Lloyd struggles to keep the car pointing in the straight line direction. Tancredi right on the ragged edge with the braking. Lloyd in the Adams Auto Electrics car, desperately trying to stay in touch. Yeah, that VH is doing a great job. It's probably a better car than the VS in the wet, but its handling sensational, but not as good as Nick's car. Nick's just got it all in the bag today. He hasn't put a foot wrong. Over the top of Lukey Heights is your race leader, and how it's a massive lead. A lot of camber on that 77. Yeah, the VHs, you can actually get them out to 6 degrees negative camber, so it's fantastic for the wet conditions. It gets plenty of grip in the front for you. The weather has really set in here at Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit. You're watching the Glassworks Commodore Cup round 4 action. And, Tancredi, a massive result from the rear of the field up to 2nd place, helped out a little bit by the inclement conditions and some of the hold-ups within that as Lloyd gets the car sideways again. But how about Nick Parker? Massive drive in the wet, Christian. Fantastic job, and I'd like to have given Tancredi a couple of little more laps because I reckon he went right on the tail of Nick there, but sensational job for 2 guys. That one started from pit lane and one started with a broken clutch. Excellent effort. Top shelf fruits entry just cruising across the line to get the checker as the hail starts to fall here as well. Why not? Might as well be freezing rain. Parker the winner over Tancredi. Lloyd, Fontaine, good job in 4th. Phil Brock, McGregor, Stevenson and Andrew Parker.
Well, Nick, trying conditions, but well done in race 1 of the Commodore Cup.
Yeah, always loved the wet weather, and the car was going really well and stayed out of trouble. We had a little bit of misfortune at the start with starting from pit lane, but luckily the car was quick enough to get through them all and get away with the win.
Michael, 2nd place, mate, trying conditions out there.
No, it was a pretty good result in the end. We broke a clutch cable off the start line and had to work our way back from last. It was pretty hard. I had to work really hard through the field, couldn't see much of the track. But I'll tell you what, it was a good result to come back with 2nd, and it's a good result with the championship in our points as well.
Round 6 of the Shannon's Nationals continues in treacherous conditions at Phillip Island. Don't go anywhere. More from the Commodore Cup after this.
Time for a look at highlights of race number 2 in very greasy conditions. At least the rain has eased slightly for this one. We look back on a massive field and certainly no room out there to put a wheel wrong, and that's exactly what happened. Yeah, Stevenson there just ran a little bit wide going into turn 1, and I think that's where he'll probably finish up for the rest of the race there. The Aerial Motors Commodore in all sorts of trouble, and more dramas not far down the road. Yellow flag situation, not surprisingly, with a couple of cars stranded off the circuit. When we got going again, a good pass by Parker on Philip Brock there in the Brock Foundation Lamatina car. Good close racing. Yeah, that obviously really suits Nick, the wet weather. Obviously dried out a bit since race 1, but race 2 just still very greasy out there. The boys are tiptoeing around. Parker, a massive drive from him. He went by Parsons and got himself into the lead. Dramas for Fontaine. He's got absolutely no control of that car in the wet grass. No, that's what happens when you lock a brake. You're a passenger. Safety car came out, but flashing of the headlights indicates the win for Parker. He takes it from Parsons, Zekanovic, Brock, Lloyd, Domashens, McGregor and Hughes in slippery conditions.
Well, Nick, continuing a great day out there in Commodore Cup racing. Well done on victory in race 2.
Yeah, really couldn't ask for much more this weekend. The car's going really well and we just stayed out of trouble, and hopefully this wet weather keeps up for the rest of the weekend.
Marcus, third place in the Commodore Cup race too, but it wasn't all clean sailing out there for you at the start.
No, typical Phillip Island in the middle of winter. It's the conditions are just freezing cold, and it was wet, and it was just pretty much who could, hang on the best would get through towards the end, and we sort of hung in there, and safety car came out and we finished third. It was a good result considering I come from the back after my poor race one effort, but we'll regroup and try and keep on with the championship.
Ross McGregor's an important part of the community in Commodore Cup racing. Not only does he race himself, he's also an administrator and a sponsor of the championship. Highlights now of the third and final race of round 4 of the Glassworks Commodore Cup Series here at Phillip Island Grand Prix Circuit. And Tancredi, as you noticed then, got into the side of Phil Brock and sent him spraying off the racetrack.
Yeah, that's good for Phil to keep the power down there. It's the only way he's going to get through that sand trap.
Now, this is the interesting part about Phillip Island. You can have parts of the circuit that are dry and parts that are certainly far less than dry. Zekanovic and Lloyd had a great battle going for second.
The yellow flag come out for Phil Brock for the turn 1 into altercation, but the boys picked up racing again, and Marcus back on his game again, we're all over Nick Parker.
Yeah, and as you can see, different conditions, different parts of the circuit. Parsons under siege there from Lloyd. That car is so nimble. Tancredi sideways, so is Parsons. Everybody had the tail hanging right out as Lloyd. Well, that was a very big incident here for Nathan Collins. Still picking up speed, sliding across the grass. That could have been a whole lot worse than it was.
Yeah, they were very lucky for that tyre barrier to save him there. But Nick Parker, again, 3 out of 3. Excellent weekend for Nick. He'll be wrapped with that.
What a great performance from Nick Parker. He got the win over Zekanovic, Parsons, Tancredi, Bates, Lloyd, McGregor and Jeff Fontaine.
Well, Nick, a total domination here in the Commodore Cup. Well done.
Yeah, thanks very much. It has been a fairy tale weekend for me, and you couldn't really ask for more out there on the track. Everything went my way and the car was good, and hopefully it's a good sign for things to come.
What was the thoughts when that bonnet come up in that first race? You think, oh no.
Yeah, there was lots of things that I can't really repeat going on inside the helmet, but no, look, it wasn't too bad a result. It was a great result in the end. Just unfortunate that happened in the first place, but it's just something to learn between the team, that we make sure things like that don't happen.
Well, Dave, well done this weekend. Trying conditions, but you certainly come through the field.
Yeah, look, it was really, really good result. Didn't expect that at all, and considering it was wet, hadn't driven the car, hadn't even sat in the car until this weekend. So very, very happy.
There's your points. It's still only 1 point in it. Lloyd and Tancredi. Parker has advanced to third. Zekanovic in fourth. What a championship battle this has been.
Yes, Wade, the next round is at Malala. It's the first time Commodore Cup have taken on an endurance format.
Plenty of new drivers and plenty of old drivers coming back to the ranks.
Yes, mate, the few of the old school are coming back. Dean Croswell. There'll be plenty of boys, like a couple of XV8 supercars. Simon Wills and Jason Barguana will be coming to join the ranks.
Looking forward to that. The next round of the championship at Malala.